What's up, YouTube, and welcome to Travel Adventures with Eric B. I'm Eric B, and today we're going to talk about things that you should know before you come to the state of Louisiana. Let's go. Let's get the adventure started. Welcome to Travel Adventures with Eric B. I'm Eric B. If you're new here, I offer travel advice. I'm a solo traveler and I do vlogs to help you travel better and more efficiently. Next thing you should know before you come to the state of Louisiana is you should know the Louisiana isms. And one of the Louisiana isms that you should know is the fact that you may hear Louisiana from a lot of people from Louisiana. So when you hear Louisiana, it's the same state. Some people say Louisiana, some people say Louisiana. I think more people in the northern part of the state say Louisiana though, but you will hear Louisiana quite often, like the old country song, Louisiana Saturday Night. The Louisianaism you see oftentimes is the pronunciations, the Cajun pronunciations, the EAUX, like is in go, GEAUX, go Tigers, go Saints. So you'll see a lot of that in Louisiana. The Cajun pronunciations and the names, put a few of the more popular ones on the screen. Here's a list of some of the more popular Cajun and Creole last names, and we'll get into the difference between Cajun and Creole later in the video. But popular names in Louisiana: LeBlanc, Broussard, Guidry, Fontenot, Theriot, Trahan, Richard, Thibodeau, Bergeron, Bourgeois. And the name of some places: La Place, Atchafalaya, Pontchartrain, Grosse Tate, Opelousas, Ouachita, Iowa, not Iowa, and Tchoupitoulas. Next thing you should know about Louisiana that's very important is you should know about the weather. Now, if you come here during the middle to end of May all the way through September, it is very hot. It is very humid. It's a swamp here. It's a bayou, as you know. So very hot, very humid. You should definitely know about hurricane season, because hurricane season here, hurricane makes fall in Louisiana pretty much almost every other year, and in some years you have multiple hurricanes that make landfall that cause lots of issues. So you want to be mindful of those. A lot of them tend to come around September and October, usually around the end of hurricane season, but hurricane season starts in June and it goes through October. So when you make a trip here, be mindful of that, and be mindful of the heat, and be mindful of the bugs and the humidity. There's huge bugs, and so many bugs. If you come during the summer, there are bugs literally the size of my head in Louisiana. They're huge. Mosquitoes, the pesky love bugs that splash into your window. So beware of the weather and beware of the bugs when you come to Louisiana. You should know about Louisiana is Louisiana has the third most festivals in the U.S. of all states. So there's always festivals here, not just in New Orleans, but right here in Breaux Bridge at the Crawfish Festival, just to name one. So when you come to Louisiana, make sure you research the festival schedule before you get here, because there's always fun to do outside here in Louisiana. Baton Rouge is a great place to go downtown and enjoy festivals, as you can see right here downtown. Lafayette's a great place to go see festivals at. New Orleans, of course, goes without saying, the festival capital of the world, but all of Louisiana, there's a lot of great fun festivals, lots of great food and music in this state. And you have all types of hidden gems, like festivals in small towns like the Strawberry Festival in Ponchatoula, Louisiana, which is one of the biggest festivals in the state for people to go to. The fifth thing you should know about Louisiana is the Cajun and Creole food in this state is second to none. I have an entire video that I put out last year about the Louisiana food and the must-tries and the must-haves. And I can just tell you like this: you must have almost everything, because the pralines, the sweets, the crawfish, the etouffee, the gumbo, the boudin sausage, all of these things are absolute must-haves, and I promise you, you won't be disappointed if you try it. You might be a little more full, you might gain a few pounds, but I promise you, it's worth every single penny, and perhaps every single calorie as well. So for number 6, I want to talk about a couple sleeper towns. First of all, Natchitoches, Louisiana, located in the northern part of the state, is the first town in Louisiana, established way back in 1714, has just over 18,000 people, and is the home of Northwestern State University, the Demons, or as they like to say there, Forkum. Natchitoches is very unique in that it is very much a European style town in a lot of ways. And the city is called the City of Lights for its amazing Christmas light display that takes place every year that see tourists come from all over the place to enjoy. The town is also home to the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame, which people from all over the state come to go check out this comprehensive Hall of Fame as well, which shows many highlights from New Orleans Saints history to high school football history to college history of state schools. And Natchitoches is also famous for the meat pie. Even though the meat pie may have originally started in Greek as a European thing, in the United States, nowhere is known more for meat pies than Natchitoches, and they have a great meat pie festival that I need to attend one of these days and vlog. A second sleeper town located just 20 miles north of Baton Rouge is St. Francisville, Louisiana. If you're a fan of the classic homes and the plantation homes, St. Francisville is a good place for you. Myrtle's Plantation is a place that I went to, and you could actually spend the night there. It's known as one of the most haunted places in America. St. Francisville was established way back in 1809, but it's very classical in its style. So if you enjoy the classical homes, the plantation homes and things like that, you'll enjoy that a lot about St. Francisville. Another thing about St. Francisville you may enjoy, they have Tunica Hills. If you're a hiking enthusiast, this is a very good trail where you can go see a beautiful waterfall as a payoff at the end. And there's plenty of space where you can go hike and enjoy yourself at Tunica Hills. A lot of wide open space here. Not a very big city, but definitely worth a visit. The seventh thing you should know about Louisiana is that New Orleans is absolutely must visit. So if you're in another part of the state, if you're within driving distance, you need to get your butt to New Orleans if you've never been before. You talk about a fun town. You talk about great history, great culture, beautiful architecture, amazing art, great people, incredible food. It's all in New Orleans. Everything you want to see it's within the Crescent City. So just to come down and have a great time and enjoy yourself and not just party, just enjoy the architecture, enjoy the environment, enjoy watching people have a great time. New Orleans is definitely all of that and a bag of chips. Or should I say all of that and a cup of gumbo. Laissez les bon temps rouler. Eighth thing you should know about Louisiana is it's more than just New Orleans, starting with downtown Baton Rouge.
Among the many cool things to visit when you're in downtown Baton Rouge, you'll see Louisiana's old state capitol, which is an actual castle.
And you can actually go in and explore it because it is a political museum, the Louisiana Political Museum and Old State Capitol. People go in here and have weddings and take photo shoots and do all kinds of stuff in this beautiful building. And that's just one of the many things you can see here in downtown Baton Rouge, including the USS Kidd, which is a battleship that was used in World War II also. And there's tons of museums down here as well. I enjoyed the Louisiana State Capitol Museum. I thought it was a very impressive museum. Also recommend doing one of those swamp tours and getting out on the bayou and really seeing the gators and pelicans and enjoying yourself out there on the bayou. Now, you could take those from New Orleans, but those are all over the state. I took one in Henderson, Louisiana, which is fantastic, which takes you out on the Atchafalaya, and you really get to see, you get to get in the airboat and all, and it's really a great experience. So I recommend you check out something like that instead of just hanging out in New Orleans. Not to mention all the amazing small towns and festivals and food and just a great time just to get out in the communities and really get to see what Louisiana is all about. Now, like I said, I highly recommend New Orleans. You need to come to New Orleans, but there's so much more to see. Ninth thing you should know about Louisiana is, yes, Mardi Gras is a Louisiana holiday. It's been one since 1875, and if you come to the state, you need to go to Mardi Gras. Now, New Orleans and the southern part of the state celebrate Mardi Gras a lot harder than the northern part of the state. But if you are in the northern part of the state, Monroe, Shreveport, those areas, they also do have parades, but they're not as embedded into the the Cajun Creole and Catholic culture as the southern part of the state is with Mardi Gras. And I say Catholic culture because Mardi Gras is a celebration one day before Ash Wednesday. Of course, it is Fat Tuesday. Louisiana has always been a very Catholic state, so Mardi Gras kind of ties into that with Fat Tuesday and the 40 days before with the Mardi Gras and Lent and everything. But Mardi Gras celebration anyway is such a party, and it's one that if you haven't been to one, you definitely need to go to Mardi Gras. And also keep in mind, every single Mardi Gras parade is different. So just because you've been to one doesn't mean you've been to Mardi Gras necessarily. Every last one of them will be different in theme and everything about it. So all over the state, all over, every parade is different. Next thing you should know about Louisiana is one of the nicknames of the state is the sportsman's paradise. And the reason for this is because of the abundance of natural resources, fish and wildlife, hunting and fishing. If that's something that you enjoy, Louisiana is a great place to come to because the resources are there. You can go out in the boat and go out in the swamps, the bayous. There's fishing everywhere. There's hunting everywhere. There's so much wildlife and wild game to be caught. Louisiana is indeed a sportsman's paradise. Thing you should know about Louisiana is this state has some very loose liquor laws. Depending on where you're coming from, you may be shocked by some of the liquor laws, such as the drive-in daiquiri shops everywhere where you can pick up a daiquiri. And only thing they don't do is they don't put the straw in so that you can take it home, I guess. But if you want to take it and drive with it, drinking and driving is not legal, but, they're drive-in daiquiri shops. In New Orleans and Baton Rouge downtown during parades only, generally you can walk around and drink, but in New Orleans you can walk around and drink as long as you have it in a plastic cup. Can't have a glass cup, got to ask for a plastic. But in New Orleans you can just walk around and drink. And also grocery stores in Louisiana. You go in your Walmart, your Albertsons, your Winn-Dixie, you can just buy liquor there. And I know in a lot of parts of the country, you can't go to the grocery store and buy liquor, just beer and wine under a certain percent. But you can buy liquor at all grocery stores, all corner stores. I know in other parts of the country and places, you can't do that. You can buy liquor all hours of the night here. You can't do that in many parts of the country. So the liquor laws can be a little surprising and a little different here in Louisiana. 12th thing you should know about the pelican state of Louisiana. Yes, the pelican state, the state bird is the brown pelican. You should know is that Louisiana is a very unique state. There are only 2 states in the USA that don't have counties. Alaska's one, they have boroughs, but Louisiana has parishes. So why does Louisiana have parishes instead of counties? Well, officially Louisiana was Roman Catholic under the French and Spanish rule, and the boundaries dividing the territory generally coincided with the church territory. Louisiana is a very Catholic church, so in 1807 they adopted a model to go with parishes. Another thing that's also very unique about Louisiana is the people and the accents. So when I talk about the accents in Louisiana, you could be down on the bayou and you could have those people the ones that speak like in the movie with Bobby Boucher in the movie The Water Boy, or speak like Coach Ed Orgeron, Go Tigers. Or, you could be in New Orleans and there's like 40 different accents, it seems like, in New Orleans. There are people in New Orleans that speak like people from New York City. Like, there's so many different accents within the city of New Orleans. And Louisiana in general, there are a lot of accents in Louisiana. The northern part of the state, generally you have more of the typical southern country accent. But all over the state of Louisiana, there's a lot of accents. People with no accents, people with heavy accents, all different kind of accents. This one right here is the last one, and this one's a bonus. The difference between Cajun and Creole. Now, this is one I find very, very interesting because people mix the two together, and there are a lot of parallels between the two. And to be honest with you, there's a lot of blending of culture between Cajun and Creole, but they're not exactly the same. The cultures aren't, and the food isn't. Okay, folks, some of the main differences between Cajun and Creole. There's some of the main differences. Okay, so when you're talking about the Cajuns mostly are founded in southwest Louisiana, the Acadiana area, Lafayette, that area. Those are the most common areas for them. Also down in the bayou, the rural areas. Cajun descendants come from small town areas of France, and eventually migrated to Nova Scotia and Canada, and then relocated to Louisiana. And when you talk, and those are mostly whites. And when you're talking about Creoles, you're talking about a lot of African Americans, a lot of mixed race people, because Creole's population is mainly in New Orleans, and it's a mixture of Spanish, French, American, Caribbean, African descent. And Creole food and Cajun food is also very different. Your boudins, your cracklings, your andouille sausage, you tend to find that more in your Cajun foods. Your Creole foods, you tend to have a lot more of a tomato base, which you really don't have. You could have gumbo that's Creole, or you could have gumbo that's Cajun, depending on where you get it from. You get a Cajun gumbo, it's going to be different than a Creole gumbo, which will be more of a tomato base. It's just cooked differently. Creole food tend to use more butter, milk, tomato. But like I said, it's Spanish and it's Caribbean and African influence. So it's different than your Cajun food, which is pretty much French with a little flair from the bayou.
And that's all, folks. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I ask that you please hit the like, please hit the subscribe button, please hit the bell notification so you can know when I have more material coming out. And as always, remember, live today, grow today, tomorrow's never guaranteed. Peace. And travel. Lots and lots of travel.
Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please hit the like, share, subscribe button. Leave any comments below. I love to interact and help us to continue to grow as a travel community.